Hi everybody and welcome back to Live with Lidia. For today's show I have these beautiful women with me today and they are all local boss babes from League City, Texas. I'm going to go around and let them introduce themselves and you guys can get to know them. Hopefully by the end of the conversation you'll be following them and hopefully even new customers too. So Daune, you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
My name is Daune. I live right here in League City. I have a store called the Salted Hippie right here in League City on Main Street. I'm a mom to a 17-year-old and good friends with these ladies here.
Hi, I'm Jessie. I own a boutique down on 518, maybe like 5 minutes away from her. And I am lucky to have found them. So because being an owner or of a boutique, you have so many doubts, and it's amazing to have them so that you could text them and be like, what do you think? You know. So yeah, and I'm also a mom of a 18-month-old baby, and so we would love to talk about all those things that we're just mentioning right now.
Awesome. And your boutique is Ivory Boutique.
Ivory Boutique.
Yeah.
Yes,
What about you?
My name is Kendra. I have a boutique as well, actually two, one in Seabrook, but my second one is in League City. We've been open about 3 years, 1.5 in League City, I guess now. And the relationship that we have is like none other, and definitely great to be in community with these ladies.
So cool. And this is one of the reasons why I was so passionate about bringing this episode to you guys. Daune and I know each other actually through a mutual friend, Karen, who now is my boss, but I met her as my interior designer. After multiple times working with her, she convinced me that I had enough talent to actually work as a designer versus hire one. So she's now my boss, and she introduced me to Daune. She thought we would mesh very well. She thought I would love her boutique, and I'm so grateful for it because I do, as I'm always wearing something of hers. And Daune and I started talking about how I call her my mentor, how we know that I recently launched my online shop as well. She's somebody that I run to, and when we went to the Dallas market last month, we started talking about that. Community over competition, how I feel like she's definitely a girl's girl. She's not somebody that will befriend you for what she can get out of you. She's someone that gives more than she takes. And I was like, you know what, let's sit down and have this conversation. And she just introduced me to these two beautiful ladies. And we want you to join on the conversation. If you have anything to say, leave a comment down below. Give this video a share if you know somebody that could benefit from the conversation that we're about to have. But let's get started, ladies. To kind of loosen you up, because I know the camera can be a little bit intimidating, I wanted to do an icebreaker with you and ask, as fashionistas, as boutique owners, as women that are surrounded by fashion, what has been your most favorite trend and the most hated today?
Me first?
Yeah.
Okay. My favorite trend right now would be the ankle denim with a little flare in it. So that's my favorite. Just because you can wear booties, you can wear tennis shoes, you can wear sandals, they're heels. They're just my favorite right now. My least favorite, I'm going to get a lot of haters on this one, but it's for a selfish reason, but my least favorite is probably the fake eyelashes. I love them, but I can't have them, so that's my least favorite.
That's why the personal reason. Okay.
But they're beautiful, but I just can't.
Yeah.
Let me hide
Can't
my
do it.
extensions.
Yeah, no, I love them. I think they're awesome. But
Are you allergic to it?
I am, and then I don't have time either. Like, it's
Yeah.
just I don't have the patience or to
Yeah.
sit there, but
Yeah.
they're beautiful, and I need them, but, you know.
I don't think you do.
Oh,
I
I
can
do.
actually see yours. When my extensions fall off, it's like bald. What about you,
tried.
Jessie?
More than a trend right now, I would say that my favorite era, and the reason I love fashion is I love the 50s, 60s era.
Oh.
And I love those movies. Grace Kelly, in fact, is my favorite fashion icon. And I think that that's the reason why I love fashion so much. As far as a bad trend, I want to say socks with sandals.
Oh my! Don't do this, please.
Yes. Oh, you like that?
No, I said don't.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's I grew up in Miami and Florida, and the girls are always to a T.
Yes.
You know, and then I just seen that, I'm like, ugh, I Okay.
You're like the shame.
Yeah.
What about you, Danae?
I'd say my favorite trend goes and comes throughout the years, and I just love bell bottoms.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't always feel confident in them because I'm not tall. I'm only 5'4.5". I always have to have them hemmed. Probably makes you look wider than I actually am.
No, they make you look,
You
because they
think
draw,
so?
yes, they make you look
There's
longer.
something about bell bottoms. They're just timeless to me.
Yes.
So I love those.
And they're back.
They are.
They are back. That's where they come and go every couple of years.
Yeah.
So just keep them. If you have them in your closet, never ever get rid of your bell bottoms. The thing I probably hate the worst is Crocs. Have you seen that meme that says those holes? That's where all your dignity sucks out. That's exactly how I feel about Crocs.
Really?
They're comfortable. I get it.
To do some gardening.
Gardening. Oh, my sister-in-law recently got some slipper sock Crocs, and they were very comfortable. I'm not gonna lie, but going out
In public,
they look like clown shoes. So,
I've only
Guilty.
ever I've
Never
only
understand.
ever
So I'm good.
owned and wore a pair of Crocs once, but that was in Disney World, and they were pink, and they had like little
The
like
Minnie Mouse.
Mickey and Minnie like in the holes, and I made my husband buy them for me. By the end of like maybe half the day, I was wanting to get them off. They left me so many blisters because they're so wide that they're
yeah.
literally like your foot is flying in them. So I was like, never again. They're still in my closet because they're pink and they're cute, but I'm not gonna wear them. No.
Not good.
Yeah, but let's get started with the conversation that we want to have. As far as like shopping local, I know this is something that I've promoted and that I've asked you guys to do on my channel. If you ever see me, I usually try to tag what I'm wearing because people do tend to ask, where did you get this from? Where did you buy this? Where do you shop? I've gotten that conversation a lot. Lately, I am in love with anything that's online, to be honest with you, because of my 4-year-old, because of my social anxiety, because of me not wanting to leave my house. But whenever I do get out or whenever I find a little gem like the Salted Hippie, I love to show it off. And I invite you to do the same. Don't be that girl that's like, where did you get this? Oh, no, don't do that. Celebrate the places that you love. Celebrate the women that you love. Or even if it's a man-owned business, just celebrate the business that you love, especially when they're local, because you don't know what it does for their economy. You don't know what it does for the community locally. Have you guys ever had that happen to you?
Yeah.
Where you ask a girlfriend, where did you get that from? And they won't tell you?
I've had customers that are like, I cannot tell my friends
Yes.
you're here because if
Yes.
I do,
Then
then
they're
they'll
all
come
gonna
and they're
shop
gonna buy
here.
everything.
You're like,
and I'm like, that's what I need.
Yeah.
Because if you want
Please
me to
send your
exist,
friends.
then not me, but if you want Ivory to exist, you need to tell them
Yeah.
Yes.
that we're here, so they could actually come and shop for
Yeah,
us.
we
Yeah.
can't survive alone just on one purchase.
No.
No.
Or that person's purchase.
Yeah,
But
that's
we
true.
can share.
Yeah, but
love.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely necessary to focus on having a little bit of thought behind everything that you do as far as like purchasing and shopping. I know we were talking about like the big box stores, how sometimes we can't compete. My online shop is nothing compared to like the actual brick and mortar that these women have built and own. But even something as simple as like you telling your friend that you like the necklace that you got, that could mean a sale for me, which could mean me making enough money to pay my sales taxes for the quarter. Same thing with them. You tell them Ivory has really cute sandals, and that could mean she gets to pay the rest of her, rent for the month. And keep in mind that your money counts so much more when you leave it in the community, when you shop local. Your house value is not going to go up if you go from X city and go shop from a boutique in California.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing nothing for your own community.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, it's,
She was just showing me something that said that if you spend $100 at a local business, approximately $68 of that stays in the local community.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she just
And
showed me
a
that right
small
now.
business at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a small business.
Not
Yeah.
the big box.
Yes.
Because the big box, their corporations are in other states and in other cities. So
Yeah.
your small, locally owned small businesses, so much more goes right back into the community.
It does. And also
Absolutely.
as small businesses, we're not owned by stockholders, board of directors, or algorithms even.
Yeah.
When you're purchasing from us small businesses, we're not concerned about the next stock market price for these stocks. We're concerned about funding our next week's bills, bringing in new inventory for our customers to love and fall in love with. That's what it's about.
Payroll.
I was going to
Payroll,
say,
rent.
it gets to a point where your employees become family.
Yeah.
And you get to love them at our age, at a level of like moms almost. And you're like, oh my God, you know, what can I do to keep their hours so
Yeah.
I don't cut them? What can I do so, you know, you're always thinking about those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go, and I'm sorry because I'm going to throw them under the bus. I worked at Target. And they're so big that they could just call you anytime and be like, don't come in today because you just don't make it to the payroll. And I'm like, but you don't know the bills I have.
Right. They're
Yeah.
dependent on their jobs.
We're a number to them. And your local businesses, community businesses, they're not a number. They're actually
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
I can see that, and I can speak in personally have worked with my husband. As many of you know, he has a local business in Pasadena as well. So the majority of those guys literally are family in the sense of like they're like his cousins and uncles and like blood. And then the ones that are not, they have become family to the point where I can see him. And when I was working there and I was working like office admin for him and payroll, that weight becomes part of you. It's like we have to hustle because these people need to eat, because these people need to pay for their mortgage and stuff. So there's a different kind of stress that goes into when you have a local shop, even, you know, locally, like brick and mortar, or locally as in you're working or producing or creating a service out of your house, or for example like me online. Everything that you get when you open a package has been touched, bought, made, cut, produced, written by me. And your lack of enthusiasm or sharing, or your lack of
Engaging.
purchases and engaging, it definitely, you feel it, and it
Yeah.
shows. The more you support women like them, the more you support locally, the more they can thrive and like quit complaining about not having new material and not having new merchandise. Because what do you think happens if we don't make a sale that week? We
Can't
can't.
buy new merchandise.
Yeah.
Can't keep up. No.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
a
that's the
cycle.
thing. We cannot keep up with big stores.
Yeah.
Online stores, you know, or they even have brick and mortars, but maybe like in one the state they're in, but they're massive.
Yeah.
You know, and that includes Amazon. Again, I'm not gonna say I don't buy for like at their place or on their site, but I do. But what I'm trying to get at is that social media has a lot to do with that lately.
Yeah.
Where bloggers are buying $15-$20 sweaters at Amazon, and we cannot afford to sell us, because truth be told, that's, you know, like we just can't.
Yeah.
It's around the price range that we get it at.
Right. It's
You
close,
know.
it's almost near wholesale price.
Yeah. And so we cannot compete with these places. You know, they're massive, they're monsters. We
They're
cannot do
buying in
that
bulk.
with them.
Yeah, that's
And,
another thing.
You know, and so we understand and we know that how easy it is, but it does affect your community.
It does.
You know, and then they buy from huge, boutique manufacturers, and but bloggers also buy a lot from huge boutiques. You know, 300,000+ followers, where, trust me, your local boutiques will have the same items because we shop at the same place, the same market. And yes, it's cool, and I understand that it's cool to tag them and be like, oh, I bought this at this place and I love them. But if you go and you search your local boutiques, they'll have those items most likely. So, or something that's similar to it, you know, and they're also big enough that they can do so many discounts because they buy at bulk. That you also need to take into consideration when you go to a local boutique, that you're like, oh, but they don't have enough discounts like so and so. But that's also because we cannot buy in bulk in hundreds to
They're
support.
getting it for a cheaper price.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're buying so much at one time.
I feel like I have to agree with you and shamefully admit that I started blogging with my best friend Izzy, and it was a fashion blog, and I remember like shopping, for example, Fashion Nova, right? And they're like, even in their cards, you know, tag and you'll be a Nova babe, and I'm like, you want to get recognized by these brands, because in my head I'm thinking, they like my photo, that means they're gonna post my photo, that means they're exposing me to their hundreds of thousands of followers. But in reality, you're like a grain of sand to them. When if I post a photo and I'm wearing a beautiful Salted Hippie boutique dress and you like it, I know specifically it is something that touched her directly. And if she posts on her page, it's something that's more local.
It's more
the
organic.
engagement is different. It's so much more organic. And at the end of the day, I feel so much better supporting someone that I know, like, personally. Now, I'm not going to lie. I still do shop Fashion Nova. I still do shop stuff like that. But I try to make a conscious effort, like, hey, you know what? I just spent $50 at Fashion Nova. Nothing is stopping me. I mean, of course, budget, but nothing is stopping me from now spending $50 somewhere else locally.
That's nice.
So that I don't feel like I'm talking the talk but not walking the walk. Because I think that's something that's really important.
You're right. They also have employees, and they also have, they also support like their local community. But what we're trying to get at is, and that's amazing.
Your local.
Yeah, go around your local community, get to know it, get who has a business, and see if you could stay within them. You know.
I will say something I've learned recently is a lot of those bigger boutiques, I say boutique, but they're online boutiques that have this massive following and massive sales and all this. A lot of those people are able to outsource their products and manufacture them themselves or manufacture them cheaper in other places. To where it looks like the same thing, but it's not the same thing. So you kind of have to be careful of that, even because they can very easily knock off even a regular item. Doesn't have to be a designer item,
that's
but
so
they
true.
can remake that top or whatever it is through another country even and in bulk and pay dollars for it, and then then they can still get their markup, but the product isn't the same.
Have
So
you heard
really
the story
have to,
about the rashes?
No.
No.
A lot of the bloggers I follow have rashes from Amazon purchases.
Yeah, you really have to
Oh
really
my
be
gosh.
careful. And so that's
Yeah.
one thing about shopping local is we know where our products
Yeah.
come from.
Yeah.
And
You
we
can
are-
touch and feel
yes.
and actually try it on, even though I hate to do that.
no.
And not only that, when are you going to ever see Amazon or Macy's, not to call out people, when are you ever going to see them supporting your son's baseball team
That part.
or your daughter's cheerleading team or
Yep.
the local theater club? You just aren't going to find them doing that. I'm sure they're supporting bigger organizations and meaningful organizations, but ones that are going to affect you directly and us directly are going to be those small
Absolutely.
shop local purchases.
And I do love that because like, for example, you go to a baseball game. One of my best friends is like a baseball mom, and you see the mom and pops on their back. You see the local pizzeria.
Yeah.
You see the local scrap band like my husband has done in the past. And for them, it might mean a new shirt, but for us, it's like scraping $200, $300, $400, $500 that could be either profit or payroll, and giving it to someone that we know we can help locally and we can help immediately. Versus on a scale like you said, there are companies that are very
Generous.
giving and generous, but there's also help that you need to do local. Like there's also work you can do locally that can affect you directly, your family directly, what you're purchasing and where you're purchasing from. I know we were talking about pricing when we went to the market, and we brought up the idea of like people sometimes complaining about the pricing without knowing what goes in behind it. Have you girls had this happen to you where people complain about your prices?
Sometimes they'll even compare us. But it's what I find is a lot of times it's not apples to apples. They're saying, we had one review that said something about H&M and Forever 21, and I
Oh
know
my
for
gosh.
sure that there's
That's
no
fast fashion
comparison.
girls.
Yeah, that's
there's
not-
no comparison. So I think it's just
What you
It's
just talked about.
fortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
that they
mean-
can buy the clothes for cents sometimes
Right.
and sell it for $19. We cannot buy stuff
No.
for cents.
And for us,
We can't
quality
do
is
that.
very important.
Yes.
Quality is
Very
extremely
important.
important, and you're
Yeah.
not going to walk into Forever 21 and develop a relationship
Right.
No.
ever.
No.
Yeah.
And they're not going to remember you when you come back.
No.
They're not going to remember what you bought that item for.
They're not gonna remember your size, try on the
Yeah.
clothes for you, send you Snapchats and Instagrams, and then say, "Danae, turn around so I can see what the bag looks like."
Yeah.
You know what? Send it to me. No, don't.
They're not.
They're not gonna
Yeah.
do
You're
that.
not even
Yeah.
going to know the salesperson. that
Yeah.
bought
No.
you, much less be able to do
Well,
that.
and
Yeah.
with prices, you might think all boutiques are the same,
Mm-mm.
but we're all different because we either have a different formula to get prices. We all can afford shipping in a different way.
Yeah.
Our rents are totally different.
Absolutely.
Our
Yeah.
employees are also different. For example, like you said, I'm a mom boss. So the fact that I can only be at the store till a certain amount of the day, I need to have someone there that represents me. So that already takes my payroll to another level. So that means I'm already, you know what I mean? Like it's a whole different, and yes, it's not the customer's fault, but it's happening, you know, and it's just, expenses are different.
Yeah.
So you will always see, yes, it says boutique on all of our stores, but all the formula, whatever, you know, the formula is, will always be different.
When we all carry different brands, you know, that's
Yeah.
one thing that we
Oh,
all, I mean, we appreciate the community over competition, where we're not trying to carry the same thing that
Yeah.
we're each other is carrying. So there's
And your
still not
style
a,
is all very
yeah,
different.
It's
it's very
different.
different.
Very
Mhm.
different.
So again, it's not apples to apples as far
Right.
as even comparing our stores.
Well, you're right.
because
Brands. I
yeah,
have
the
a
brands are all different.
I've had customers come in and let's say we got like a dress from a brand, and you don't even notice it. Sometimes you fall in love with an item.
Yeah.
You don't even look at the price, which sometimes, yeah, we're a foul at that. But
Yeah.
then you get a similar item, and then it's way lower. And they're like, but why is this cheaper and this and that? And I'm like, oh, Jesus, why is it cheaper? And then I go check, and it's the brand. The
Yeah.
brand completely, like, also seasons change. So if it's like I don't know, a color, anything could change the price completely.
Drastically.
There's a lot that customers don't
Yeah.
understand,
Yes, guys.
Yeah, or even
Yes.
try to. You know, they
Yeah.
don't know what goes into it.
It's,
So.
it feels it's a whole different like career.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
No,
You
yeah.
go in, I think, loving the fashion, and you go in thinking because of the fashion,
Yeah.
and then you end up having to be this boss, whether it's for yourself, by yourself, or a boss, a company or employees, and it turns into now you're a mom and you're somebody's wife, and then you're, like you were telling me, you're somebody's grandma. You have to put on your hat for accountant, merchandising, fashionista, because you have to rock your stuff so that people can see it and want it. And
Social media guru.
social media. You have to do
Website creator.
payroll. Yeah, you have to do office
Accounting.
administering. So it's
Therapist.
Boss.
all of that
For real.
that goes into what you think is just another boutique in town.
Yeah.
And I challenge you to do that. Go into your local area, your side of town, your state, wherever you're watching from, and go meet a new boss babe. Go meet a new boutique. And I'm telling you, the moment you walk in there, you feel so much better than when you're walking in Walmart and you're being watched versus you're walking in the
Being
Salted Hippie
assisted.
Boutique and you
Mhm.
get to see Daune or Jessie or Kendra. The smiles that you get, that help, that you get, the enthusiasm of like a potential customer, a sale. You know, you don't know what all goes into it, and if you don't, maybe just ask. Like you said, what's the difference between this and that? And if we don't know it,
We can find
we're
out.
gonna find out.
That's right.
But yeah, I think another thing we were talking about too was the difference between going, like, I know you went from corporate America into a boutique. Can you tell us a little bit about your transition and how has this happened to y'all as well, where you have to transition from like corporate into boutique, and how it's affected your like everyday life now that you're a boss?
It was a very male-dominated environment, yet still very fulfilling. That company was very good to me from a young age on, but I lacked challenges. I needed something different in my life. I was very monotonous, going into my 8x8 cubicle every single day, doing the same 9-to-5 job, or in my case it was like 6-to-3 because I had a son at home I had to get to, and being able to now work for myself and be home when I want to be home for him, even though now he's 17, has been more than I could even ask for. So, you know, people coming into my store and purchasing whatever they may purchase is directly supporting my ability to be home whenever I want to be for my son, or, you know, directly supporting basically my dreams. You know, when you walk into my store, Jesse's store, or Kendra's store, you're walking into their dream. You're walking into what they have created 100% on their own. maybe family help, you never know. But
Yeah.
still, that's their creative side coming out in their store.
Yeah.
It is their heart, their soul, their food on their table. It's everything, and that's how it's affected me.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. And there's so much power that goes into being able to, as a woman, whether you're married or not, being independent doesn't mean you hate men. Like, I always talking about women empowerment. I don't hate men. I'm so blessed with an amazing man. Like, he has stood in front of me. He's led me. He stood behind me, let me shine. He stands next to me every day when I said, hey, I need to go film. And my son woke up with like a little fever blister today. And real talk, right now I'm like freaking out inside because I don't know what it is. And my husband had to step in and go take him to the doctor. So as we speak, he's there. So I love the passion that comes behind that. There's something about a woman in charge and a woman fulfilled, a woman supported. And you can do that as a consumer, as a customer, as a friend. Like, if I had not met her, this conversation would not be happening. If I hadn't met Karen, I would not have got to know you. And now we're here and we're having this conversation. It's definitely very real. I know you guys wanted to talk about different things today. What are some other points that you would like our viewers to maybe engage in, or for them to know about the boutique world and the entrepreneur world as a woman?
I think what I was just mentioning, you know, whether it's a small boutique like we have, or boutiques like we have, or even a small business service, for example, Design with Your Diamond Mind, you're directly supporting their creative side. Each one of us is authentic. Our stores are authentic. You're basically creating reciprocal energy. You know, you come in, you buy a product from one of us, we go in turn, help the community. That's exactly what reciprocal energy is. And you by walking into one of our stores or getting a service from a small business, you are directly supporting community. It's what sustains communities. It's what makes communities great, and is what keeps communities healthy. I mean, look at Austin. Why do we all like to go to Austin? There are amazing shops and restaurants and bars that are all small and locally owned.
Yeah, that is so true.
League City has that potential. We've got some amazing small businesses. Restaurants. But the only way that we are going to grow League City is, or even any small town, or continue on that supporting small businesses, is if we continue to shop local and stay local.
Like right now. Do you want to tell everybody where we're at?
Oh my gosh, you guys! This is
It's beautiful
the most
here.
amazing venue, Butlers Courtyard. You have to come check it out. They give tours during the week when they're open, and they have weddings and baby showers, and they'll host any event for you. And they full service too.
Yeah.
And gorgeous.
Oh my
It is
gosh,
gorgeous.
This, I don't know if you can see behind us, but that's an old bank vault.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty awesome. That's my favorite part of the whole thing. Besides the exposed brick,
It's a
walls.
Yes.
Yeah, and the area is beautiful because it's Old Lake City.
Oh, and the
Yes.
oaks.
Yeah, the
The
oaks.
oaks are
Yeah.
beautiful.
And you
here.
can see, I know you guys can't see it, but on the walls there's pictures of what this building used to look like many, many, many years ago. And there's a picture of the family planting the oak trees outside the building. And
Wow.
you'll have to
Huge.
post a picture of the outside of the building, because the oaks are amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much to
Yes.
Butlers Courtyard for this. We are being sponsored today at this location by them, and they're allowing us to film in their beautiful venue. Everything about it is absolutely beautiful. It's like historic.
It is historic.
And it's stuff like this that you will not see unless you come shop locally. But
Or
yeah,
hear
that's
about.
amazing.
That's
yeah,
right.
a word of
Or hear
mouth.
about.
That is so important too. Word of mouth. It goes
that's
back
the
to
biggest.
sharing. Like share where you are shopping. Share where you are loving. Share what you are into, so that place starts to thrive. I know we've talked about this too on our way to Dallas, when people are like, "Oh, so and so closed down. Like, I wonder why." Why do you think it is?
I just went to San Antonio, and we were at the Riverwalk, and so there's a Starbucks. Now you mentioned that, there's a Starbucks and a cafe right in front of it. Starbucks was packed. Don't get me wrong, I like my lattes at Starbucks, but the place in front of them only had like 2 customers inside, and I was just so heartbroken. And I said to Chris, "Look how cute, look how modern they are." I said, if half the customers at Starbucks were in the cafe, that'll make their day. That'll make their morning complete.
Yes.
You know, we know
And
we
they
cannot
probably
make
have
those-
better coffee.
Probably do.
I mean, I love Starbucks, but
Yeah, I
some
do
of the like Art of Coffee, like
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
coffee's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Desserts.
I mean, you just got to give those, you know,
Yeah.
mom and pop places a chance.
Because, well, talking about cafes, and you're right. Art of Coffee, for example, they get their desserts from a bakery, a local bakery. So it's a whole, it's
supporting a whole
Yeah,
nother.
it's
yeah.
a whole circle.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot in our shops too. We
Yeah.
carry brands that are, you know, handmade, that are supporting a local artist. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we all carry things
Oh
like
yeah, Art
that.
of Coffee. Not to, you tell we all like Art of Coffee.
Yeah.
It's one of our meeting places.
Bill and Jimmy, they not only do they buy local bakery baked goods for their stuff, they also buy, or not buy, but have artwork from all local artists that
Oh,
you can
how
purchase directly off
cool.
their wall. That's an amazing business
That's
right
really
there.
cool.
And when you walk in, just like when you walk into one of our businesses, Jimmy or Bill might serve you. You know.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And that's the one thing about small business I think everybody has to understand is that they're in business because they love people. Like we
Yeah.
love people. Like we love the interaction. We love
There's a
people
passion
to
that goes
leave
into
with a
it.
smile on their faces.
Yeah.
We want. I
Makes
mean,
our day.
the purchase is important, but what's more important, I think I can speak for all of us, is that the customer leaves feeling better
Yeah.
than they did when they came in. You know,
Yeah.
feeling like they got a great item and feel good
Yeah.
about their
Yeah.
purchase.
How many times have you get a customer that comes in and they just seem kind of down and they're
Yeah.
searching for something but they don't know what they're searching for, or they've had a really bad day, and then they leave with something that they love, that they've had a great experience, and they're leaving with a smile on their- It literally, there's
It
been
does.
stories
It
like
just
that.
makes
It-
your heart happy.
It fills our hearts.
Yeah.
But
It truly does.
It's also the other way around because sometimes I'm having bad days
That's
and they
true.
come in,
True.
and I go very public on this, and everyone knows I went through IVF for my baby, and but first we wanted to adopt. So I would talk to my closest customers about it so that they would also know that I was I was looking for
Yeah.
adoption, this and that. And so I didn't tell them that we were doing IVF. We get pregnant, and I tell them, and they cried with me at Ivory. So I've had both experiences
Yes.
where I'm also down, and they come
They make
in,
your day better.
and you become really good acquaintances with them.
Yeah.
And they also make your day a lot better.
Yeah.
So don't think that you come in, just to buy clothes.
No.
Yeah.
You also
It's
make
way
our
more
days.
than that.
Yeah,
You're
you make our
supporting,
days.
like you said, you're supporting the dream of somebody. You're supporting the hustle, the drive, the motivation.
Yeah.
It's like
Making
you're
it all
you're
worth it
respecting
for
the
us.
risk.
Yes.
The risk, the day-to-day risk that it takes to not only start a business but maintain a business.
Yeah.
That's, you're acknowledging the
Yeah.
struggle
Most
It's
and the
real.
love. It is so
Yeah.
real.
It's real.
How many times are we like, girl?
Struggle is real.
Texting. So how did you guys do today? So it's a really good support system we have.
Very
but
good.
and I
we also
admire
are
that.
amazing.
I know I asked you too. How important is
Community.
community over competition? Because I feel like she is the epitome of community over competition. She has taught me where she shops. You've helped me with pricing. I send you photos and I'm like, should I get this? Not. It didn't do good for me, Lidia. Maybe try something else. What color should I get? She honestly could be like, bitch, figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to be
Yeah.
a boss, handle it.
My
But
mom would think me.
but to have somebody like that in your circle, in your vicinity, in your local shop, I mean, it's amazing to have a mentor like that. How important is this relationship to you ladies, and how has it helped you as an entrepreneur when you feel like you're sitting there alone doing it by yourself?
I think that's the biggest thing, is that you're not alone anymore.
Yeah.
Once we became friends and real friends, where we can honestly talk about anything
Yeah.
with each other. We're real. We're not trying to do a facade of any type, and it's just, you can't do that with everyone, you
Yeah,
know, and it's
so
just
true.
such a freeing,
It was very freeing. It
wonderful
was.
feeling that we can be friends and really have somebody that understands exactly what we're going
Yes.
through.
Yeah, I'm not afraid
Because
to
it's
tell.
a very lonely world.
It is, and I'm not afraid to tell these girls. That
yeah.
rain week last week, I was scared. I'm not gonna lie.
We
And I
close
contact them, and they
family.
were like, "We get it. Trust
Hang in
us.
there.
We get it."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and if you're alone, before we became friends, if I had a bad week sales wise or just in general, you're like, gosh, what am I doing wrong? I must be doing something wrong. And lo and behold, to come and find out they had a rough week too, well, then it doesn't feel like you're alone.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, well, if they're having a rough week, then it's maybe not what I'm
It's
doing.
not you.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That
just-
self-doubt is
Yeah.
horrible.
It
And
is
I think
horrible.
as women, we beat ourselves up with doubt and with guilt. Everything is like you
Yeah.
double, triple, quadruple think it. And then the guilt. Well, you know what? It was a slow
should
day.
be
I should have been at home with my son. Or, you know what? So-and-so didn't show up for a meeting. I should have been at home with my son. It's horrible. So to have a community like that is so amazing. And it's something that you don't see behind the scenes when you're just a customer, but just know like the impact you have. The fact that 3 women are sitting here almost within a mile from each other, maybe.
A little bit.
Probably
She's probably the
3
furthest.
miles,
Yeah, 3
maybe.
miles or
But
so.
not
She's
far.
literally like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
But,
but
usually,
I-
if somebody shops at one, they shop at all.
Yeah.
The three
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
We
I
have
think-
really great customers.
Yes, I think the minute that you understand that the competition in your area, if you're in the same industry, it's not your competition, but your
Yes.
colleagues, that's when things shift mentally and change. Because I remember it all just took a visit from her to my boutique, and then I think I went to your boutique, and then we all just be like, okay, let's go get coffee. And the minute we understood that by being colleagues, and like my mom said, hey mama, the sun shines for everyone.
Yes.
It's important because, you know, you'll always see people starting their own business, their own boutique. And the minute you understand that you have to focus on yours and you have to focus on you, the fact that you are amazing, that you are creative, that you got this, because everything is within you. And that the people that also have stores or within the industry have the same that you have, they could be your best friends, they could be your colleagues.
We are great friends, but we're not like trying to do the same thing
Right.
as each other. We're staying in our personality and in our
Staying true to
way of
ourselves.
doing it. Yes, and not trying to be. We're more of a shoulder to cry on than a how are you doing it? Let me know. Let me try that. You know what I mean, kind of
Yeah, yeah.
thing. So we just really get that. I think.
Yeah.
And
It's beautiful to see that because I think I can't speak for all women because I have met some women that are genuinely super not catty, but there's a cattiness that comes sometimes from being a woman that I feel like you don't see as much in men.
No.
Like men don't see each other and they say, oh, he's skinnier than me, or he's taller than me, or his hair shinier than me, or where did he get his clothes on? It's not like that. And I think as women, I don't understand why sometimes we do that, where you look at somebody and instead of bringing them up, you kind of like reflect. I don't think we should do that as women. You should be able to look at a woman and appreciate her for what she is. Oh my God, she's beautiful. Oh my God, it looks like she's working out.
And tell her.
Tell her.
Because
Tell her,
sometimes
yes.
it's the hard thing is when you keep it to yourself, and sometimes if you see someone and you're like, oh my God, I love she comes in, I'm like, oh my God, her shoes are so cute, and you tell her, love your, you know, if you tell that, it's liberating because you're not keeping it to yourself, and you're making maybe that person's day as well.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I've challenged myself to do that after like starting therapy. That's something else that I'm working on. Where my therapist tells me you have to challenge yourself every week to do something that you're uncomfortable with. You don't want to create a panic attack, but you want to sweat a little bit, that you know you're challenging yourself. One of them was me going to HEB last week. I don't know if I told you about
girl.
that. I mean, to you, it might just be like, girl, okay.
Well, with
how-
everything happening.
Yes. So I forced myself to go into HEB and I had a panic attack, but I had my husband by my side and I survived. You know, it's something that I hadn't done this whole year because of the shootings, because of what you hear, because of just a lot of things that are happening socially. But like you said, if you see something that you love and you show it off and someone appreciates that, if someone comes up to you and says, oh my God, your hair looks so good today, like, oh my God, I showered, like you can tell.
That's
like
what happens.
I tried really hard today. It feels really good. Now imagine what you could do for someone else. That goes for boutique owners or not. Like sometimes we need to hear it. Like you know it in your heart, and you you should be your biggest supporter, but we're not. Like, realistically speaking, we're our biggest critics. So to do that and to say that to a fellow woman, you could be changing her entire week. And it's something that, to see this and to see that there's no competition in that sense, it's beautiful, because it's unfortunately kind of rare. Like, when you told me, like, oh yeah, she owns a boutique down the road.
None of our customers believe it.
I know.
Yeah, I've had customers. Well, some of them don't. They think it's just on the surface,
Right.
but it really isn't. It goes beyond that. But also too, people have come in and asked us if we were all like owned by the same company, like we were
get
all
that
one.
too.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't
As
seen
if
I'm
you're
like,
working for the boutique.
Yeah, as if we're working for some, big box
Corporation, yeah.
corporation,
Yeah.
and our stores are just
A facade.
trade off that,
We're all
branched
managers
off
that are friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Oh, that's cute.
nope.
Yeah.
We are all authentic, individual.
I've had the someone comes in and they're like, yeah, I'm new to town, this and that, and I'm like, oh, okay, then you should go check out this and this boutique. And they're like, oh, okay, and then we tell them, I write it down for them because, Google is amazing. So Google sends them that way. And then I had a customer that was like, she was like, oh, that's very sweet that you're sending them that way. And I'm like, that shouldn't be rare.
Right.
That shouldn't be something that, it was nice of her to tell me, but I was like, yeah, I think it's just something that should be done.
It should be done, and not just for ourselves, but for
Everybody.
the community.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't tell somebody about Brave Boutique, how long can Brave stay there? I mean, yes,
Right.
she's got customers that can help sustain her,
Mm-hmm.
but that
But
one
new
customer, new
are
customers,
important.
like you were telling me that one time, I was stressed because some faces I haven't seen in a long time, and you said that sometimes customers change off every couple of
2
years.
years.
Mhm.
So
Life
those
cycle.
new customers that come into my shop, if they don't know about Brave Boutique or Ivory Boutique, I feel a responsibility as a citizen of League City to tell them about these other amazing small shops nearby.
Yeah.
We need them in our community to create
Absolutely.
a healthy community.
I agree.
And the truth is, with boutiques, I think a lot of people, if you like one, you want to do many. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having, there's a lot of areas where they have streets with just boutique, restaurant,
Yeah.
bar, boutique,
Yeah.
and that's like a day you want to spend, just going.
Boutique
so,
hop.
yeah.
You guys have done that, right?
We
Boutique
have.
hopping.
Yeah.
When she first posted this on Facebook, I'm like, wait, what? And for a second, I was guilty of that, like what you said. Oh, you shared somebody else, because in my head, I'm like, wait, isn't that her competition?
That's what,
Like, that was my first reaction. But then
if you think about it, I read an article about that, when you start seeing them as colleagues, the minute like a boutique closes or someone in the same service as you are closes down, it means that customer is now going to go to a big box store.
Oh.
So,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So you don't want your
No.
competition to close down.
Right.
You want them to stay open. You want them to have
You got to be a
sales.
destination.
Yes,
Yeah.
because if they close down, then guess what? Then they're gonna go find something at another place, and they're definitely even forget about you because you know they won't. They'll be like, no, it's much easier if I go to the store and I can just find everything there, as opposed to okay, we're all three open, then let me go check them out now. You know,
Yeah.
That's
That was a
amazing.
good article. Mm-hmm.
How did you guys start with the boutique hopping?
I don't even
I
know.
don't even know either.
No, I think we
It's been
did
a while.
one.
I think y'all did one, and then when
For
I moved to League
Christmas.
City,
And then we
That's
all
fine.
did summer one, and then we just kept doing it.
Yeah.
I think we were already friends between one hop and then the next
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
moved to League City.
I think we only did one hop prior to you, and
Yeah.
we've all
So-
three been doing it ever since.
And
then
it was just neat because we're the people that only we had several people that didn't know about them, and I
Yes.
know they had the same. So it was
That was the
definitely
benefit.
I
a
was gonna
great
say.
way to tell them about the
So,
other two.
I think
you
that
know.
we came up with the idea because we were sharing the same customers.
Yeah.
So it was like,
We're so
oh.
close in proximity, like
Yeah.
5 minutes from each
Yeah,
other.
and
It's
so we
hard.
were like, oh wait, so if we do a hop and that'll be fun for them, then it'll be like a cool thing to do. That's what it was, like,
Yeah.
because we shared a lot of so much that we've had returns with our own, like
Yeah.
she's had returns to my bag or like
Yeah.
the other way around, and we're like, well, wrong boutique, but sure, like not wrong boutique as in the item, but the
just
bag.
the bag,
Yeah.
Yeah, so but we don't mind.
No.
It's cool.
Do y'all have another one coming up soon?
No.
We haven't discussed one.
Yeah, we
we
haven't
sometimes
discussed
do one at Christmas. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let us know and we'll let you guys know for the next one. I want to go to one. I've never been to one.
It's
We're-
fun. We just do it
You
for
have
like a week.
you have a couple of weeks or a week to
Or,
complete
yeah.
it, just because there are 3 different locations. And,
Oh, okay.
You know, if you get off work at 6 o'clock for some of you working moms, you know, you may not be able to make it to
All in one day.
all in one day. So
True.
it lasts about a week, and you can go you know,
at your leisure.
yes.
The minds are at work always.
Yes, they
Always.
are.
Yeah.
They
Pretty-
are.
pretty crazy.
So it gets to a point, we've talked about this, it gets to a point where we started for the fashion and we love it. And then now we're like just in a bun with just our leggings because we're just, like you said, we're hustling the whole day. And so fashion actually becomes like a back, like goes to the back burner. And then you focus so much on management.
Yep.
That is
Just the day-to-day running.
changes.
I think we discussed that at Dallas Market too, where you're like, you go in thinking it's going to be all about fashion, and then you come out and you're like,
pretty.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody says, I want to go. It would be so fun. You're like, oh, it's
Yeah.
pretty tiring.
Yes, it is very
It is fun, but it's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Wear the right shoes.
Yes.
We'll let you guys know if they do come up with anything. Ladies, before I let you go, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time and sitting down with me and my viewers so that we can get to know you guys. I'm excited to check out the 2 new boutiques. I'm gonna cheat on you a little bit, but it's gonna be with 2 hot girls, so it's okay. I can't wait to go check them out, and I actually want to go inside because I know that's something I tell Danae when I step into her store. It just feels like it's so her.
Home.
You know what I mean? It's like everything that goes into it, and I can imagine, you know, the way yours will be set up is going to be so different, but still it's like I can
Your
get to see a
personality.
little bit of y'all's personality in there. But before I let you guys go, is there anything you want to promote? Any shameless plugs you want to give my viewers?
Shameless? I don't know if shameless, but we're having a fashion show in October. I believe it is October 18th at Water's Edge. I will give her the information. It's in Clear Lake, right? That's Clear Lake. And I'll give you the information so you can put time and everything, or a link that will take you there. It's to fight human trafficking.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, check that out. It's amazing. And nothing, just check out our website. You can also see social media and our website at shopivory.com, and you'll be able to see like our style and what Ivory is all about.
Awesome. What about you? Your social medias?
You can find us and shop online at thesaltedhippie.com, Instagram and Facebook at thesaltedhippie. We don't have any sales going on this week. That could change if you follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We're always posting specials and dailies, and it's usually a spur of the moment thing. So check us out there. We're at 613 East Main Street right here in the Historic District.
Beautiful League City. What about you, Kendra?
We do have social media, Facebook and Instagram at The Ivory Boutique. And then we have a website at shoprayboutique.com. If you follow us on our social media, we do have several things coming up in October as far as girls' nights out around the town. So those will be really fun. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook for information on this.
Awesome. And as for me, you guys know the drill. Subscribe, share this YouTube video, post it on your social media, share it with a friend. If you're a fellow fashionista as myself, check these ladies out, give them a follow. And again, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Butlers Courtyard. I know you said it was a family-owned business. It's 2 sisters now running this venue, and it's beautiful, you guys. I'm gonna try to insert some photos or videos here for you guys to see. It's a beautiful, beautiful venue in historic League City, and you can get more information at info@butlerscourtyard.com, or come check them out in person at 122 North Michigan Street and tell them Lidia says thank you for hosting us. But before I let you go, the beautiful ladies of the League City Boutiques want to give you a special discount. If you come shop at their locations, online or in person, mention Lidia10 and you get 10% off your purchase. And I invite you to do that. Get yourself a beautiful new outfit. You can support somebody locally, support a fellow boss babe, and get yourself a discount code. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you again, ladies.
Thank you.
And we'll be seeing you next time. Bye guys.